let's get this X-T4 set up my way. You might have a few different personal choices, but maybe this will be handy. Now, in the past, I've done something similar and people have complained about it being too fast or too slow. Well, it's difficult to please everybody. And in first place, this is just in case I lose my marbles. I can look back on this video and see how it goes and set up my cameras in the future. But of course, I know that some of you appreciate these things, so the pause button is your friend. Or even, I think you can speed up the footage on YouTube, which actually might be a bit more entertaining. Now, I just wanted to point out this still and movie switch here, that will affect the menus that you get, and you'll see me flick over into the movie mode and adjust those as well. So just pay attention to how you set it up, because you'll be able to access both menus separately as you flick this little dial. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's switch this on and then see how we get on. We'll do the smartphone setup later. Let's get rid of this for the moment. That's simple enough. Obviously, the smartphone setup will also get this bit in place. Where am I going? Now, when I'm shooting my stills, normally I'm using the full sensor 3.2. If I'm shooting a thumbnail, just to save me cropping later, I'll go to 16.9. The other functions I don't really use. Now, as you see, the touchscreen doesn't let me adjust any of that, in case you wondered. Image quality, if it's just for my random travel day-to-day shooting, I'm going to use fine. If I'm shooting professionally, I'll either shoot fine plus raw. So I've got some ready to go JPEGs and raw for the all important stuff. So let me put this to fine for now. My raw, I'll just go for compressed. For me personally, I don't see a fat lot of difference. Now, my preference for film simulation to start with is personally Pro Neg High. You do have a bunch of others in there, including the brand new Eterna Bleach Bypass. And of course, you've got your Eterna Cine and your classic Neg from before, but I'm currently enjoying, at least initially, that one. Now, we can adjust the monochromatic colors if we're so choosing to do a monochrome film simulation from the off. Color chrome effects and FX blue, irrelevant for me. Dynamic range, I'm leaving it on auto, basically. It's fine, and I'm not messing with the range priority at the moment. Now, we do have this tone curve, so we can go into there to adjust the highlights and the shadows. So I'm going to put my highlight down by 1 and my shadows I'm going to leave at 0. That's a very interesting little feature there, especially if you're into your curves. I do like that. I'm going to explore that a little bit further, I think. Color +2. I'm just going with my standard settings for the moment. Things might change at some point. High ISO noise reduction, I'm going to currently leave that on 0. Clarity 0. Long exposure noise reduction off. Now, we'll have that lens modulation optimizer on when I've got a lens in, of course. Color space as is. And then for the custom settings, I'm going to leave that for the moment. Mount adapter settings, they're fine for now, but you can edit any one of those. So I will be doing that when I use my vintage lenses, which is something I plan to do with this, especially with the IBIS that we've got. Focus area, so we'll put on the largest single point just for the moment. AF mode, single point. AFC, I'll leave it on 1 for now. All this I'll leave, except I'll change to the focus points. Pre-AF. Now, it really does depend what I'm shooting, but I tend to leave that off. Illuminator, I'm going to put on for now, but certain jobs I will switch that off because I don't want any distractions going on. Eye auto for face detection. Focus peak white. For that, my focus check on and then I'll go down just to the most relevant ones for me. You do have an AF range limiter in there when you've got relevant lens. Shooting setting, drive setting. Now for me this is important because I like to use a film bracket simulation. Of course, Pro Neg High first, then I like my Astia, and then I like my Acros Red. I haven't changed with that yet, so I'm going to set that in place. Not interested in the other brackets there. High speed burst, we're going to go 15 with mechanical because we're going to be testing that out soon, and the low I'm going to put right down because that's just how I like it. HDR mode, I don't really mess with that, and the advanced filters, I don't mess with that at the moment. Sports finder mode as well, I don't mess with that. Pre-shots, self timer will be one of these two, but I'll do that in the quick menu, although we can have it to be saved. There we go. Self timer lamp, yes. Shutter speed type, I'm going to go with the mechanical for now because I want to get used to the sound of it to hear if it's actually as quiet as they say. Flicker reduction, and we've got the option now to have all frames or just a 2. Continuous IS mode. Let's adjust me default settings, so I want 160, and I'm going to go for a maximum, just to be ridiculous, of 1 to 800, but for the others I'm going to put them at a slightly more sensible. And that's it. So one's at 3.2, one's at 6.4, and one's at 12.800 for the ridiculous. I just want to see what it's like. You know, I'm not expecting much difference as it's the same sensor, but there you go. Multi-exposure, not interested. Wireless, we haven't set up yet. Flash function, I want rear sync. There we go, rear sync and TTL mode. So when we get that flash set up, so of course your usual flashes, my Godox will work with this fine. I don't even have to worry about that. And the rest of the stuff, the user settings, which is more my preferences. Sensor cleaning when switched off, not when it's on because I want it good to go. Battery age, brand new of course. Reset, regulatory. Sound setup, I don't want any beeps other than self-timing, so let's get these off here. I'm just going to have a quick flick down these to see if everything's where I need it to be. Yep, that's cool. You might even see something that's changed for you for now, so let me just run through the settings here. That's the one. Focus area, I tend to just use these literally for my focus. So I've got another quick place to put the focus, but actually it's a bit unnecessary really, but it stops me from knocking anything when I'm shooting fast. And the other things that I do want, I'll put into the touchscreen menu, such as the levels. We'll look at that in just a moment. Let me just get this to the focus area. Focus, 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 focus. Of course, we're going to have a look at that. Right, touch focus. Touch screen, sorry. I want an electronic level when I swipe up. Swipe across. I want, where are you? We want a preview. And then across. I don't want this. We're going to have another. Let's have a histogram, and that's on the same. Up and down for it, that's fine. I don't need too much. That's good. I want back button focusing, and the rest is pretty much what I want. The Q button you can actually switch off or assign to any of those things that you saw before. Let me just make sure I've got it in the right place. So you could change your Q button to another of the function buttons, which is very, very handy. Command dial setting, I tend to use the exposure compensator. That's all good. Very, very simple. Shoot without lens, off. Shoot without card, off. Focus ring that way. Everything, as far as I can remember, is as I want. Oh, we've got a double tap setting. That's interesting. I don't think I need that for the moment. touch function on, touchscreen on. Yep, everything is looking very decent. But watch what happens when I flick to movie mode. Let me go up here a bit. Movie mode. Now I'm happy at, stop changing, I'm happy at 23.9, let's put it to that. I'm happy there, but of course we can go to 60 frames. Now, file format, I'm happy at where it's at, but you know, you can see what else is available there. I don't need to change these as I'm not shooting F-log. HDMI output info display. Now, I'm going to have this on for certain exercises I'm going to be doing, so you can see everything that's on here. But if I get my hands on an Elgato Cam Link, that will be changing pretty soon, because then I'll be able to use this or any of the others, for what it's worth, as a webcam instead of the Canon 80D. So that's pretty cool. Right, IS mode. I don't want to use the digital image stabilization yet, can't even say it, so I'm going to leave it on the IBIS along with the OIS. Let's go with a bit of boost. Suitable for static handheld shooting and off for shooting with panning, tilting and tracking subjects. So for me, static handheld is more relevant in this case. We do have zebras now, which is very cool. Tally, and let's get this bit set up, which will be pretty much how I set up my JPEGs. So, you know, I wouldn't worry too much. Of course, as we said before, all this is subject to your personal tastes. And of course, we skip past the mount adapter there because we're going to be setting that up soon at a later date. I'm happy with the sensitivity on 2. The illuminator's fine. Definitely want eye auto on. We are going to be doing some random vlog tests with this because, you know, that's what some people want to do. It's a little bit big for me for that, but you know, it should be more than capable otherwise, and plus I'm more than strong enough to hold this thing for whatever it takes. Anyway, that's irrelevant. I want AFC, and when I do get my mic in, I'm currently using the mic that I'll be using. This will be going down to roughly -18, but of course I'll want to check that out. I should imagine it's the same as the T3 that I'm currently shooting with. Mic jack will be a mic. You can have a line now, which is super cool. Mic level limiter, wind filter, cut, and let's put this headphones one up to 7 for when I use the adapter. Time code, not using at the moment, and we can also mess around with the function settings, but I'm quite happy with it as it is, frankly. That's absolutely fine. So that, to all intents and purposes, is set up. We did this on the unboxing, but just as a recap, I like to have, for stills shooting, the settings as they are, like that across the board, unless I'm shooting flash stuff where I will have everything set manually. If I'm shooting video, for example, I might need to go to a 60 to go with the 180-degree rule with the frame rate, obviously depending on what frame rate you choose, and then I'll go for the lowest ISO I can get away with, and then I'm good to go. This I'll leave on C, and as I said before, I'll use the dial at the front for that. And it's basically as simple as that. We just need to get these strapped up, get the SD cards in and formatted, and of course, all importantly, get a lens or two ready to shoot with. So hopefully that has been of some use to you or future me, and I look forward to hearing what you want to see in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll be back very, very soon.